Hello children, very good morning. Children, can you just tell me, I don't know, when I was young, whenever I used to buy a Parle-G biscuit packet, all of my friends used to say, "Oh, genius." So I never used to understand why they were saying. So then one day it so happened that I heard the ad that was given in one of the TV ads. You will get I used to, other than the programs, I used to like to watch the ads that you come between the programs it used to come. So then I understood why they were saying. So Parle-G means genius. Who is a genius? The person who is exceptionally intelligent. A person who is exceptionally, there will be no match for him or her. So today we are going to learn about a person. Usually when you say genius, immediately in your mind, because you are all now new generation, younger generation, of course you are all genius. Okay, you will know immediately who it is. And can any one of you tell me the name, my dears? Can guess? Any guesses you have? Yeah, of course, I know. You are also another Einstein. Yeah, it is Albert Einstein, who always referred to as a genius. So, the story what we are going to read about him, a truly beautiful mind, it recounts the life of an outstanding scientific personality, Albert Einstein, from his birth till his death. So now let us just go to his the birth and all. When he was born, Albert Einstein was born on 14th March in 1879 in the German city of Ulm. U-L-M, Ulm. You have to say like that. For about 2.5 years, he could not speak. And when he did learn to speak, he uttered every word twice. His playmates called him Boring Brother or Brother Boring, and his mother regarded him as a freak because of the abnormally large size of his head. Now let's get into the lesson. A truly beautiful mind. Before we go, let me give the theme of the lesson, or the central idea, you can say. A truly beautiful mind is based on the life of Albert Einstein and his works in the field of physics, and how he became a Nobel laureate. And sometimes, we won't understand, we won't be knowing. When the person was born, we cannot predict, we cannot say that great men like Albert Einstein are not born with special qualities, gains, or talents. These particular children, like Albert Einstein, children gradually develop some specific virtues or qualities and become great when they grow up. This is very true. The words are really very true. Always we say that backbenchers and all, we do not know out of the backbenchers who becomes a genius like Albert Einstein. So we cannot brand anyone, give a tag to anybody saying that he is such and such. He's a slow learner. No, this kind of tags should not be given to any child. They need a kind of encouragement, a kind of motivation, an appreciation, which makes them to just get on. Kind of eagerness. We need to develop a kind of interest, eagerness in them to become great in their life. Everything will be in our hands. Each one's hand. Whether it is a student or anyone, their life is in their hands. So it is their responsibility to take care of it and become great in their lives, just like Albert Einstein. Let me tell you, he was born, when did I say? 14th March in the year 1879. Remember that. I'll be asking you at the end of the session. Let me, before I go reading the lesson, this is the small summary, a brief summary about his life. A small one. I'll just tell you. The chapter, A Truly Beautiful Mind, is a biographical account of Nobel laureate and scientific genius Albert Einstein. A quiet and modest life brings more joy than a pursuit of success bound with constant unrest. What a beautiful saying. It's a very good note. What it is? A quiet and modest life brings joy than a pursuit of success bound with constant unrest, which was written while the physicist was on a lecture tour in Tokyo. Albert Einstein was born, I already told you, in Ulm in the year 1879. His mother thought he was a freak. You know who is a freak? Freak is none other than a person with the abnormal size of his head. She always used to feel him as a freak. His head seemed unusually large, big in size. He didn't speak until the age of 2.5. When he finally started speaking, he uttered everything twice. So maybe he used to repeat the same sentence again. Twice he used to speak any sentence. Usually it happens. He loved mechanical toys and preferred being by himself. So he never used to mingle with anyone that easily. You see, I see always you will be talking with everyone, you smile at them, you laugh, and then you crack jokes and everything. But he's quite different from normal self. So he always used to do everything all by himself, not getting involved into anybody else. Then, the headmaster of Einstein's school told his father that no matter what career Einstein would choose, he would never be successful. That's why I told you, whether it is a parent or a teacher or the head of the authority, should always encourage a child. We cannot tell them, who knows what they become in their life. Can anybody predict it? That Einstein, the one who was repeating sentences twice, and who could utter a word only when he was 2.5 years old. Did anyone think? Even I doubt even his mother did not have that thought in her mind. Okay. He would be never successful. This is the discouragement every time he has got from his headmaster. He played the violin. It was the wish of his mother. When he was 6 years old, his mother asked him to learn violin, and he started learning. And afterwards, he developed a kind of interest in it. But he is an amateur violinist. That means he did not learn the violin in order to be a professional, but it is only for himself. He developed it as a hobby. He developed it as an interest. Out of interest he started, and then he became a gifted amateur violinist. He went to a high school in Munich and left the school at the age of 15 because of feeling stifled. So he thought that certain schools, they have rules and regulations, and it is the minimum responsibility of a student to follow the rules and regulations, whatever put forward by the schools. It is mandatory. You have to. There is no other go for you. There will not be any harm, you have a systematic life when you follow all these things. It's not wrong. You never should take it in a negative sense and never feel that they are imposing everything on you. Okay, it is for your welfare. Somebody says anything, then you have to think a while. Just give a thought to the sentence or the word that is spoken by anyone who always wish for your, your development, or about your future, better future, good future, or the best future for you. Okay. His parents have moved to Milan, and it is in Italy. Okay, Milan is in Italy, and left him in Munich with relatives. Naturally, nowadays we have these hostels and all, but before, when they want their child to pursue the further education, the people used to send them, or wherever there is a possibility of for further education, they used to see the nearby relatives' house and make them to stay over there, and whatever is needed, either it is a support of money, monetary support, or otherwise they used to, mostly in the villages you won't have this kind of privileges, or when they are shifting to some other place, they need someone to help him out, so they made him to stay with his relatives. He got to continue his education in a city much more liberal than Munich. So here, though there are no, the impositions, or there are no restrictions, he was quite happy over there. Some kind of freedom, some space was given for him. And he was interested in physics and was highly gifted in mathematics. See, whoever it is, the main subject they love is mathematics. If you say or not, they immediately, when the class comes, even you do that. You just open your books and you start going on calculating. So you love it. It's kind of loving subject where you have to need to apply your analytical, logical techniques. So you may be liking it. And he studied that, headmaster who told that he would not prosper in his life, become something great in his life, but it is quite opposite of it, and he started doing very well as a pupil at that school. Okay, he studied at a university in Zurich. Albert fell in love with Mileva Marek, whom he thought was a clever creature. So, when he found Mileva, he thought that, yeah, this is the right girl. She also has got all kind of my habits, like a soulmate, what you say, no? So he thought and he started liking her. He showed a kind of interest. At the age of 21, he was a university graduate. But see, nowadays, or even those days also, he did not get immediately a job. So he left as an unemployed. Okay, he did not get any kind of job. So, but he did not sit idle. What did he do? He worked as a teaching assistant, like how we do in that way, and gave private lessons. Tuitions also used to take. He secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in Bern. In 1905, one of the famous papers was Einstein's special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. So whatever the time is shown now may not be the same some other place. Okay. It's not accurate, it is not absolute. He also derived the world's most famous formula that describes the relationship between mass and energy. That is, E equals to mc square. Then Einstein, he wanted to marry Mileva. I told you, he liked her. He has shown some kind of interest and liking towards her. And he wanted to marry her after finishing his studies. But his mother, it's quite normal that parents will not immediately accept the choice of yours, the marital choice of yours. So mother objected and she said that no, she's not the right one because she's quite elder to you, 3 years I think. So she's elder to him. And also she said that she was also exactly like Albert Einstein. And she what she refers him to as a book. Okay, just like he was. They finally got married in January 1903 and had 2 sons. So, because when 2 heads are too brilliant with the same wavelength, they have some kind of they cannot accept the other's opinion. A kind of authority will be there. So naturally, they had a small kind of disputes in their opinions or whatever it is in their works, what they were doing. So thereby, they took divorce in the year 1919, where Mileva thought that she was losing the capability. She was also like Einstein. So she thought that, and she felt it is a rest. The marriage became a blockade for her. So thereby she divorced him and went. And one more interesting thing. Albert Einstein, whatever the amount he had got for his Nobel Prize, that amount he has given it to Mileva. Because he was divorced. Maybe she demanded it. Okay. So now children, I'll read the lesson. Be very attentive. Try to understand the lines. I'll tell you. I'll read it for you. So, Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879. I think it is the third time I'm repeating this. In the German city of Ulm, without any indication that he was destined for greatness. On the contrary, in the opposite way, his mother thought Albert was a freak. To her, his head seemed much too large. So, in the first paragraph, it was given when he was born and what his mother thought about his head, the size of his head. And then nobody thought what he would become, what was destined to him, the great genius he had become in the field of science. Nobody just thought about it. Okay. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking. So sometimes it so happens that immediately by the month of 11 or 12, slowly you start saying, first word you get is mama. Mom you call amma. Yes? Then whatever you just repeat, the mother will be, that's why mother is called as the first teacher. So mother used to just speak. She repeat like a parrot. The baby also tries to say something. So unfortunately, till 2.5 years, he could not speak. When he started after that, he used to repeat the sentence twice. Okay. And then Einstein did not know what to do with other children. And his playmates call him Brother Boring. So the youngster played by himself much of the time, and he especially loved mechanical toys. Looking at his newborn sister, Maya, it is written as Maja, but in our language we say Maja. It's not a drink, okay, but it is, when I just checked the pronunciation, it's a German name and it is called as Maya. Maya. Okay. When you are in your phonetics, you will get ya sound written in the form of letter J. Okay. Speech sounds. He is said to have said, fine, but where are her wheels? See the fun over here. So, after that, when he did not know, as I told you, that he did not know how to mingle with the children. He did not know how to play with them. What kind of play he can go along with them. So thereby the children did not just accept him. They always used, whenever they used to say Albert Einstein, they used to call him as, Brother Boring is coming. Okay, they have given him a tag saying that he was Brother Boring. Okay, that's why he always used to play all by himself. And he's quite, the boys, they love to play with mechanical toys. They just open it up, check it, what kind of screw is there, how it is going, how it is winding. This kind of thoughts will go. Whereas a baby girl means she always go with dolls, or she tries to imitate her mother. Whatever mother does, she also tries to do that. And he was blessed with a sister. And when he saw her, okay, fine, she was good. Naturally, sisters will be beautiful. So, he liked her. And what did he say? Fine, okay, fine. I have a sister, good. But where are her wheels? So, he was thinking it is a toy. She was a toy, the baby girl. And he was asking where are her wheels, that is her limbs, legs. Okay. A headmaster once told his father that what Einstein chose as a profession wouldn't matter because he'll never make a success at anything. See, the headmaster, who should always be encouraging, motivating, always told that what he will do, what he can do, what he chose, the field. I doubt he may not become a successful person. This was what his master told, headmaster. Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6. because his mother wanted him to. He later became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining this skill throughout his life. So it was the wish, according to the wish of his mother. When he was 6 years old, he started learning violin, and gradually he became a good, amateur violinist. He did not, by profession, he is not a violinist, but it is actually a liking he developed towards his instrument. Okay, and it continued throughout his life. This skill means the skill of playing an instrument, violin. But Albert Einstein was not a bad student. He went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old, and scored good marks in almost every subject. Einstein hated the school's regimentation, I'll tell you afterwards, and often clashed with his teachers. At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled that he left the school for good. Now, when he was 15 months old, the family moved to Munich, and then there he started going to a school, and there he started getting good score. Okay, and then everything was fine, but Einstein did not like one thing in that school, that is school's regimentation. I told you, no, I'll tell you about this. Regimentation is nothing but the discipline which is taken to the extreme levels. So he did not like that imposing, telling, do this, do that, don't do this, don't sit like that. So he did not like it. And the next one is that, and often clashed with his teachers. What is he? Tell me. Einstein is a genius. Naturally, he would be putting questions in such a way that the teachers used to be annoyed, and there used to be a clash, means a kind of difference of opinions. Okay, so that's why what did he do? He did not like that school. And when he was at the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled. Stifled means he felt that if you just keep you in one room where no ventilation or closed doors, how do you feel, my dears? Yes, of course. You feel breathlessness, a suffocation, or just you're in one place and they burnt some wood. Okay, then what happens? The smoke makes you feel little suffocated, uneasiness. He did not like that atmosphere at all. Okay, so then he left the school for good. For good means maybe there is a chance for him to become something great. He decided, that is what you say, positive thinking. What do we say? It is a positive thinking where you always feel that whatever happens, if you take to your heart saying that yes, it is maybe it is for my good. Okay, so he just felt that it is for good. The previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan and left their son with relatives. I told you, no? After prolonged discussion, prolonged means for a longer time, they had a discussion, and Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German-speaking Switzerland in a city which was more liberal than Munich. Now, he happened to stay in Switzerland in a school which was quite nice, unlike the school at Munich. And then he started his education. Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics and interested in physics, and after finishing school, he decided to study at a university in Zurich. But science wasn't the only thing that appealed to the dashing young man with the walrus mustache. Now, Einstein, he was a gifted person, as we told, in mathematics, and he also developed a kind of interest in physics. Then after he finished his school, he decided to study at the university in Zurich. But science wasn't the only thing that appealed. That means attracted a kind of interest he developed to the dashing young man with the walrus. What is this? What is walrus and what is mustache? What is the connection? You are maybe a little bewildered, confused, puzzled, unable to understand. So walrus is an animal which will have the air on its, it will have whiskers, no? Small kind of air will be just there on the sides of the snout of the walrus. It will be little drooping. Okay, drooping means bending down. So have you seen the photograph of Albert Einstein? Yes, of course, you might have seen, because in your science, you already have done with E equals to mc square. I heard your science teacher telling the other day. Okay, so that is called walrus mustache. Okay, so he maintained it till his death. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student, Mileva Marek, whom he found to be a clever creature. So he thought that she is a right person, okay, for him. This young Serb means it's a noun, and then it is the person who has immigrated from Siberia, has come over here, and she is a Siberian. Came to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees. This is the place where women also got equal rights to study the degree in the university level. Einstein saw in her an ally. Ally means a friend, an associate in her against the Philistines. Philistines means usually it is a disagreement, disapproval. To talk about the people who do not like art, literature or music, who do not have any kind of interest in these things, we call them as those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. The couple fell in love. Couple means these two people, Albert Einstein and Mileva. Let us survive, in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with tenderness. So they used to talk more about this science, whatever they're dealing with. At the same time, the communication or correspondence, the exact word you can go with here is the correspondence was exchange of their feelings with each other. Wrote Einstein, tenderness means in a very delicate manner. Wrote Einstein, how happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion. He was quite happy, both of them. Both of them means who? Albert Einstein and Mileva. In 1900, at the age of 21, Albert Einstein was a university graduate and unemployed. He worked as a teaching assistant, gave private lessons, and finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. You know what is a patent office? Patent means it's a document which gives the rights of an invention or to an inventor. Who invented it? and the invention. Both will get the patent, so they can use it or produce into the market, or they can utilize it in a proper way. Okay. While he was supposed to be assessing other people's inventions, so it says he's an associate. He used to help them out. Einstein was actually developing his own ideas in secret. Secretly, he used to start working on his ideas. Okay, he is said to have jokingly, in a funny way, called his desk drawer at work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. So now he used to call his desk as a Bureau of Theoretical Physics. One of the famous papers in 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. So he says that there is a slight lagging in the showing of the time. That is just what he has proved. Okay. From this followed the world's most famous formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy. E equals to mc square. I already told you about this. Here in this mathematical equation, E stands for energy, M for mass, and C for the speed of the light in a vacuum. So sometimes he was quite funny too. See here what I'll just tell what he said about this. When you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, it seems like 2 minutes. So maybe he's talking about Miliva. So when he was sitting with her, maybe he was not knowing how much time was moving on. But when you sit on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it seems like 2 hours. That's relativity. So he is telling it in a very simple example, telling that you're talking to your nice girl, it will be 2 minutes appears to be 2 hours. Whereas here, when you sit to, on the stove for 2 minutes also, 2 hours will be 2 minutes. Sorry. I'll just tell you again. I'm very sorry. When you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, that means your time will pass very quickly. That is what he means to say. When you sit on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it appears as if you sat for hours together. Okay. While Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling. It started to fail. Okay. Albert had wanted to marry Miliva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. She thought Miliva, who was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. She was also bothered by Miliva's intelligence. She is a book like you, his mother said. Einstein put the wedding off. So when Einstein, that he fell in love with the girl Miliva, and then he wanted to marry her immediately after he finished his education. But mother was not readily accept for that. She said that no, she is one way. 2 reasons she put before him why she was against the marriage of Miliva and Albert Einstein. The first reason is that she is 3 years older to him, and the second reason, she was also exactly intelligent, just like Albert Einstein. Okay, so then when his mother, against his mother he did not go. When his mother said that it is not right to marry her, he put the wedding off. That means he has given some space, he delayed it. Immediately he did not say, no, I'm going to marry her. He did not say. He given respect to the words of his mother, and he just kept it aside, the idea in his mind. He just put it aside and he continued with his research works. I hope you all understood the lesson, my dears. I have to check you. I'll just ask you simple questions. Please try to answer me. It is the children, they had a feeling towards Albert Einstein whenever he came to play. Or what was the name they have, nickname you can say. What was the nickname they have given to Albert Einstein? Any one of you? Come on. Yeah, I can see a hand raising over there. Yes, my dear. Stand up and tell me the answer. It's okay, fine. You sit also, no problem. Give me the answer. Very good. It is, they said Albert Einstein was quite boring and they nicknamed him as Brother Boring. And there is another opinion that is put forward by somebody. Can you guess who it is? Yeah, very good. It is their headmaster. What did he say? He said that he would not succeed, or he would never succeed in his life because he was quite stupid. And then his mother also told something about him. Can one of you tell me the answer? Can you suggest who it is? Yes, his mother. Very good. It is his mother. Thank you, children. I'll continue with the lesson tomorrow. Thank you.